I'm going to show you how to replace the belts on your Craftsman snowblower, which is made by AYP. Poulan and Husqvarna also use this same model for some of their snowblowers. First, you want to start by removing the two bolts at the bottom here. There's one here, which I've already removed. And there was one here, which I've removed already as well. So at this point, you would pull on the cover gently. You don't want to break the little tabs here at the bottom. Next, you're going to need to remove the lock nut underneath the two cables, right over here. And it's a 9/16. Now when you remove this nut, the whole chute's going to come apart from the front housing. That's what you want. There's also a washer there. Now you're going to see that the whole unit comes off the housing. So it'll come off the bottom. You just want to put this aside because we have to split the blower in half and you don't want it to be in the way. Next, you want to loosen this bolt here. Then you want to move it up from the belts like that. The next step would be to grab your auger belt like this. It may be easier if you've got the spark plug out of the engine to turn it over by hand. Make sure the switches are off. And push the belt over. Turn the engine. The belt will come off. Just leave that belt there the way it is. Now you want to take off this bolt here, and there's another one on the other side as well. And that is a 9/16 bolt. Before you go too far, make sure you've got something to hold the back of the blower. I've got a little step ladder there that I'm going to lean the back end of the blower on. If you got a friend with you to hold the back end, it's much better. You want to take this bolt right out. And you'll notice on the other side of the blower, there's a bolt there as well. You want to take that one right out as well. When you remove this bolt right out of its hole, the blower is going to want to separate itself. So just be ready to have either a friend with you to hold the back end or have some kind of stand that will hold the back end of the blower. I've got the blower separated. That should be enough to get the job done, and it's leaning on the back step ladder, which is perfect. If you were to replace both belts, you would remove them. I'll show you how to do that. I'm just doing this today for video purposes only. These belts are still good. So this is your auger belt here. You would want to make sure that it's far enough from the auger belt brake right here. You can pull this out by pushing down on the lever for the auger drive. So you'll notice when you push down on here, it's going to free up that obstruction down there. It's good if you have a friend with you to do this. So you can see that move, and once you've done that, you just simply remove the belt, and there you go. All you simply do is pull like this on the belt with your finger so that it's partly coming off, and then simply turn the engine over. It's going to come off the pulley. Then release the belt tensioner over here. Take it off this wheel here, and then pull down on the belt from the bottom pulley like this and snake it through the cracks. The drive belt back on, you would first put it over this pulley here, drop it in the space between the two pulleys. Now you want to put it on the bottom pulley just like this, and then grab the side of the belt, put it slightly on the pulley of the engine, and I'll turn the engine over. The belt is now on the pulley, and next insert the belt behind the belt tensioner down here. So pull the wheel back, it's spring loaded, and it's on. If you want to make sure that it works good, just pull down the lever for the traction drive on your blower on the handle, which is on the left side on this machine. And you can see that it's working. Now we're going to put put the auger belt on, if you have a friend with you, have them pull down on the auger control lever. And then insert your belt on the pulley. Make sure that the belt is on all the way in. If you don't have anybody to help you to keep this lever down so that it keeps the auger brake off, you can tie wrap it down on the handle like this, depressed. And it's going to keep this stop here opened so that it doesn't obstruct you when you go to put the belt back on and the auger housing back on. So now that you've got the belt on, the stopper's out of the way, and the blower is ready to go, just simply pivot it back up like this, and at this point here you want to insert a bolt up here just to hold the blower in place for you. Now the blower is going to go back level. Now pull the motor over to get the belt on the pulley. You want to insert the belt behind this tensioner here. You want to pull this tensioner back and insert the belt as is like that in there. Now you can remove the tie wrap from your handle or get your friend to release the lever. Push down the lever, you're going to see it work. You can try it. And it works good. And also hold it down. Turn the engine over a bit just to make sure everything's fine. And everything's good on this machine. And don't forget to put the other bolt on the other side and tighten these up. Now the final bolt. Also, do not forget to tighten up this bolt here with this belt stopper here. Just adjust it like this, bring it down. What this is for is to stop the belts from coming off the pulleys. When you tighten the bolt, hold this pin here so that it doesn't get out of place. Install the belt cover. Remember, there's a bolt on each side at the bottom that go on these tabs here. Be gentle putting this in because the tabs at the bottom of this cover are fairly cheap and they may break if it's cold out. The bolts that go there have a 3/8 head on them. And there's just one more on the other side. Next, we're going to put the chute back on. Now that you've got the chute off, you might want to take the opportunity to lubricate. It'll just make it easier when you're snowblowing your driveway. And insert it into this plastic ring. This part here, if it's come out on you, goes like this. It only goes in one way. You can see there's a pin there and a square nut. You just simply insert it into this bracket. Once you've got that inserted into the bracket, you want to insert this part of this mechanism into the bolt like that, and there you're going to put your nut on. So again, this is a 9/16 nut. You want this nut fairly tight because there's a lot of vibration. You may want to start it up and try it out just to make sure that everything's perfect. Now you know how to change the belts on your Craftsman